Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, Season 3, Episode 18, The Singularity. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Clio.
Hello.
And Rachel.
How are you?
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
These two are having a chat argument over how they like Sebastian Stan better. Mad Hatter or Bucky Barnes.
I just give her crap about it.
They're both fantastic. Sebastian Stan is a handsome man.
This is true.
So, S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes. Gosh, this was a good episode.
Oh my god.
I was very into this episode.
After last week's, I would have been in... Even if this was a shit episode, I would have been really into it after last week's ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously.
I think that was their plan.
Oh, no, really.
I like Coulson breaks his leg or something and he's still going out on the mission, like hobbling around.
Like, did you see that piece of bone hanging out, sticking out of his leg? Yeah.
Was it did he actually have bone sticking out of his leg?
Well, that's what they said.
That's what they said.
They didn't show it.
I was wondering if Mac was just over-exaggerating.
No, he got hit by all the concrete over at the
He
door,
did.
so it possibly, yeah.
He's lucky he survived. I mean, all that caving in on him.
Seriously.
But,
Well, and they were talking about that. Daisy used her powers in a very specific way, where she didn't kill anyone. She didn't want to kill anyone.
she just... she didn't want to be followed.
Yeah.
So
She stopped them from, or at least what she thought was stop them from.
she delayed them a lot.
It's risky and irresponsible.
And she smiles.
Now I'm
love
thinking
it.
to myself, all right,
That's
so
like,
you're gonna
that's not a good
maneuver,
idea. That's
you're gonna
not-
maneuver this thing through the broken door somehow,
Shit.
and I don't want to
knew-
watch.
Yeah, he was just like, as soon as she smiled, he's like, oh, crap.
Well, I thought they were gonna blow the door up, like use explosives on the door.
I knew she was going to, like, tilt it and push it out. Yeah, I had a feeling. Because she's one of those... She's a good pilot.
Now I'm thinking, you
Very
have
good.
maneuvering thrusters with that kind of, output
Accuracy.
thrust. Why don't you have, like, people on Jupiter's moons right now? Like, fucking seriously.
I mean, we think we're going to space, right?
Yeah, apparently there's a jet or a Quinjet or something in space. According to
Somebody's
Daisy's
going
vision.
to space.
Someone's going to space.
Who may or may not have a crucifix on them.
Space.
Space.
The
but-
final friend.
This whole Daisy thing I'm going to call this Scary Phil territory.
Oh,
We've
scary.
We've only seen Scary Phil a few times. Crushing Ward's, caving Ward's ribcage in was one of them. That's a prime example of Scary Phil. He gets very Scary Phil by making Lincoln wear a suicide vest on the mission.
Yeah. I don't think this was Scary Phil. I think this was Reckless Phil.
Reckless can be scary.
Yeah, he can't. I mean, not only that, there's other things he did, like the whole talking to Talbot and having him just basically dismantle everything they found out about Hydra.
Hydra. Yeah.
And at that point, when May stepped up to him and basically confronted him, I was just like, yes, about time someone like knocked him on his ass a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's thinking with emotion and not with logic right now, and it can get it'll get muddy fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he was also, like, calling her into question. He's like, why are you so quick on the trigger? And she's like, you don't get to say that.
It's like,
No,
you put a bomb vest on Lincoln and gave me the detonator.
Yeah.
she's like, I'll kill for you, but don't ever think that your hands are never dirty.
Yeah, exactly. Don't think you're clean.
Don't think you're clean. Because, she is basically like his hired gun. But he can't keep you. She's stepping up and saying, you can't keep using me because you feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
She's more of a lieutenant.
Well, I think she's finally, when she was in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while, she learned things, and she is just like, this is not how it should be run. She's more, I mean, we've learned she has feelings, and she knows how to express those feelings, but she knows the time and place and when to do those.
Yeah.
Right. She doesn't let feelings, color her
Cloud
decisions
her
as much.
judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that with her and Andrew. As much as she loved him, she knew it had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil used that against her in that conversation.
Yes.
She was like, hell no,
And
what is wrong with
she's
you?
like, don't even go there.
Yeah, seriously.
Sassy May.
I
And
thought
she
she was gonna
slammed the door. I'm like, yeah, you show him.
Sally in chat agrees with us. Reckless Phil.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Hive. A little more about him.
Hive.
Just a little bit.
Dope, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's getting really creepy, too.
Really
he's
creepy.
using his memories of Sky/Daisy.
And Simmons.
And Simmons, but he's doing it more with Daisy just because he knows what her power can be.
Yeah, and also he cares about having her in his council.
He wants her in his corner. He doesn't want to make her an enemy.
Simmons is a human. He doesn't care.
Manipulative.
He can't into humans.
Yeah.
Well, he can. They just turn him into
They have to be dead first.
They die. Yeah.
Yeah. But
he's being
extra. With that?
I mean, we all thought Ward was kind of creepy with him and Sky, but this is like taking that creep factor and like pushing it over the edge.
Yeah, because when she put, they were.
I was like, don't do that.
I was just like, what?
I mean, he refers to them as one organism now, which I'm hoping is just a giant metaphor.
I think it is, and I think he's more full of himself than anything, because unless there's a way for him to actually assimilate them in a Borg-like fashion, it seems like they're only connected through intent. You know what I mean?
And it's a fairly effective system, according to, who is it, Simmons or Fitz or both? They're addicted to him.
Yeah, it just blasts their brains where the dopamine comes from, and just blasts us with more of it. That feel-good feeling, like you get when you eat chocolate or ride a roller coaster, fall in love. That feeling
cranked up to 1,000.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, but Hive can't see through their eyes. He can't actually think their thoughts, but they are aligned.
It's kind of, I know, he already acknowledged that Ward had feelings for her. And I'm wondering if he's never really been around humans. Can he really control those emotions and feelings?
That's a good question.
Depending on how intense they are.
That is a good question.
Because
he also didn't just kill Simmons on the spot.
No, he didn't. Yeah, I mean, he can feel them, but does he know what to do with them besides manipulate people? Because sometimes feelings can be more powerful than actual power.
Yeah.
So it's a question.
Why I would love to see like an empath, like an inhuman who's got empathic powers.
That'd be cool. I mean, they're branching out. We've mentioned it a couple of times. They're branching into the supernatural with Doctor Strange, so that could see that. I mean, they're using Inhumans to fill in the gap that not being able to use mutants has left.
No, and the fact that he used the word Inhumans to Daisy, I think just made him like snag her up even more. But I think there's a part of her, like especially when she had Fitz on the wall, you could tell in her eyes, like she was almost like, I don't want to do this. But I can't stop myself from doing this.
Yeah, she was crying. She didn't want, and like there was a shock on her face when she first blasted him to the wall. Like it was almost gut reaction, and she didn't realize what she had done until she had already done it.
Yeah, it's like there's a part of her that's going, you gotta do this, but another part of her is like, what are you doing? But that part that has no control over what she's doing. It's just like that little inner voice in her.
But she still let
conflict.
she still let him go. So I mean that
Yeah.
that
Right.
says something to her own free will, whatever's left of it.
And Hive let Simmons go, which is
Uh-huh.
either some master manipulation. Okay, three options. Either it is some devious plan. Hive isn't as big of a dickhead as we thought he is, or the memories of the people he's absorbed, aka Will, are exerting themselves, and he, in a small way, does actually give a shit about Simmons.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of 1 and 2.
Okay. He's not as big of a dick as we thought, and it's a master manipulation.
Oh no, sorry, 2 and 3.
Okay.
When it makes sense to kill Simmons or Fitz because they've done a lot of research on just like when they took this doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have research on, and I don't think he knows exactly how much research they have on everything yet. And so to kill them would be kind of stupid because then there goes all everything.
I don't know if Hive really wants to just shut down all of these things that can stop him. Why doesn't he just kill the scientist? Why doesn't he just kill Fitz and Simmons?
I think he's trying to get people on his side.
Yeah.
Personally.
The humans? He doesn't care about them.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm wondering if there's a part of his plan we're missing.
there's definitely a part we're missing. I mean, let's see.
He's not revealing a lot.
No, he snatched up more Inhumans. Clone Lady, who is now 2 clones shorter, and
Oh my gosh.
the Mr. Personality, the Australian guy
James?
that we love, James. There,
Mr.
She's like, "Are you
Personality.
drunk?" I'm Australian.
I fucking love him. He's so awesome.
I'm
and
happy
I love
that
he's
yeah.
got Gambit powers, guys.
I was just gonna say he's a
Kinetic
Gambit.
energy.
He's a Gambit knockoff. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
As soon as he touched shit and it blew up, I'm like, really? You're the
That's
Australian Gambit?
I'm so excited.
Has an accent, right? It's just all
Yep.
Louisianan Gambit
Louisianan.
or Australian Gambit?
Louisiana.
I don't know which I like better,
Yeah.
but he's an interesting one. I'm happy
I would
he's
want both. I would want them to Gambit and this guy to team up.
Mm-hmm.
Did he settle on a name? He went through like 5 different
I don't
names.
know if he settled for one.
He hasn't settled on a name yet.
No, and everybody's just looking at him like he's increasingly lame.
Yeah. And even the Inhuman lady. I'm sorry, I forgot her name
Me
again.
too.
We can never remember her name.
We're bad with names.
Yeah. Even she was like, okay.
You're getting annoying, dude. Shut up. No one cares.
It's like walks away like, no wonder Jia Ying didn't give you powers.
I know, right?
It's like,
Well, even Daisy looked scared when she came out of the trailer. She's like, he is busting out of that cocoon in a big way.
Yeah,
And I mean,
probably blew it up.
Without Hive, he probably would have caused as much damage as Joey did when he first got his powers.
I guess you could say that's a positive to Hive. He will make freshly turned Inhumans not really that dangerous.
Yeah.
In the chaotic sense.
But it doesn't help that he's a megalomaniac, so.
That doesn't help either. But, so Fitz and Simmons go to a party to track down the doctor who was in charge of all that research. Apparently he's
all the enhanced humans in there.
Apparently a master of cybernetics. He's, a humanist or whatever, like, go for enhancing humans. How many cyborgs were in that fucking party?
Everyone had a cybernetic part. Everyone in that bar.
One person had a collarbone. Like, what does that do? What? You got a superpowered collarbone. What the? I don't
From Mac's reaction, his assistant lady was more machine than woman.
Well, I mean, we saw she had a fucking computer in her forearm.
I mean, I'm just gonna bring up a touch screen.
Yeah, I mean, would not be opposed to that, but
That's the next level. I think 10
They
years.
actually, I think it wasn't. There is a commercial for that, but it's like for the iPhone, and the lady's sitting in the bathtub, and she was like this, and it comes up on her forearm, her phone, and she's like,
"Oh yeah,"
in the bathtub scanning.
Yeah, they have projectors on like the wristlets.
Mm-hmm.
That do
Think
that.
about this though. Like 12 years ago, we're in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was 16. You were 16. We had, like...
Rachel looks around in a second.
We had flip phones. We had the Nokia bricks and all that stuff.
I had the Nokia brick, yep.
If someone told you in, like, a couple of years you would be holding in the palm of your hand a large touchscreen that can make phone calls, access the internet, and was a more powerful computer than what you had at home at that time.
Oh, yeah. My computer was shit.
Yeah.
I was around with the briefcase phone, so shush.
Oh, I've seen the briefcase phones.
Love those things.
Those are fun. Or, the Motorola's that were like a brick.
Yeah, this big. Yeah.
But, now all of a sudden we have these. So in 10 years from now, and, 10 years ago we had the Nokia bricks. Now we have these.
I have to say, the one thing I miss about that era was you could throw that Nokia off of a mountain and it would still have worked.
Oh my god, and you can leave it off the charger for like 2 weeks and still have like freaking full charge.
It's pretty
Well, that's because it had nothing to run on except
Exactly.
Texas.
You're just making fun calls.
But in 10 years from now, we could very well have implants that give us, whoop, computerized forearms.
Oh, like what's the fucking Total Recall. There's the phone in the hand.
I mean, they have flexible screens now. I just watched a video where they applied a Tesla coil to carbon nanotubes. They self-assembled themselves into wires and then conducted the electrical current from the Tesla field, the electrical field, which was... I'm nerding out into science stuff now, but I'm like watching it. It's just like watching these tendrils appear out of like a pile of iron dust. Step 1 to the T1000.
Yeah.
And then I shut it off because I was scared.
Yeah, honestly, that is
some of this stuff is pretty scary.
That's the most plausible apocalypse. Is the robo-apocalypse.
Yeah, it is. But back to Fitz and Simmons in the Cyborg Party.
That party was fly.
That was a pretty kick-ass party.
Yeah, we need to restart our comms.
It's like, we're having comm issues. We'll be right back. They have their conversation. All right, comm's back. We're on the move.
I love
Mac.
I loved Mac.
How many?
He's like, how many times do you think Hunter and Bobby pulled shit on me?
Like, really?
He's like, I'm not stupid, dude.
It's like, it's kind of a new thing. It's like, no, it isn't. It's an
old
old thing.
Everyone knew.
Everybody knows. They
Everyone
knew
knows.
too. It's just admitting it. That was the hard part.
And
everyone knew way before that.
now we're getting to that part. Shortly ago, Aubrey James in chat, and Sally agreed with. Sally agrees with him. He really hopes that Fitz and Simmons don't die in the finale. Now that they've, done the deed, because sex equals death, and
that's only in horror.
This isn't a horror movie.
This is still.
I guess it could technically be.
The Whedons still have their fingers intertwined in this one. So.
This is true.
And think about the season finale of both seasons so far. They get locked in a container and Fitz comes out mentally challenged and well, come on. I'm sorry, that's blunt, but that is the easiest way to put it. And end of season 2, Simmons gets sucked into a liquid portal and is presumed dead.
It does.
Stop fucking with us.
So now
this cycle is just I feel like if it ends with a death, then I don't know.
Well, it's going to end with a death because we've already been told.
It's obviously going to end with a death, but I mean the Fitz-Simmons cycle. If it ends with one of them dead, I don't know if
I'm going to be very
that'll
upset.
be satisfying. Yeah.
I just like the fact that I wasn't on the first season of the show with you guys, but I remember watching it and then watching it. So no one really liked Fitz and Simmons. They were just like, why are they there? They're just kind of they're in the background.
I've always loved them.
I like them too, but
they grew as their part in the whole scheme of things became bigger and everything solidified a little better.
Right, and I read a good, someone. I was just flipping through random things, I think on Imgur or something, and someone posted a good, little blurb about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Get past the first 8 episodes. And a lot of people admitted after that in comments that they never did. They got to episode 3 and couldn't stand it. They got to episode 5 and they just quit. It was too awkward. It was this, didn't make sense. Characters seemed weird.
A lot of shows are like that because, especially new shows, a lot of new shows, when you're introducing a new show, you kind of have to introduce the characters and it's really kind of boring.
But yeah, once you're past the first half of the first season, it's like, building up, building up, building up, building up, peaks at awesome and just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing about this show is that it's in a universe that's already established.
That helps.
And it helps, but it also hurts it because this is such a different view of the universe we know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know S.H.I.E.L.D. from a bunch of different Marvel movies, and this feels nothing like any of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another obstacle they had.
Right. So Fitz and Simmons wind up back at the hotel, and while Mac's packing up, the plane and prepping that, something
You're
we've
going
been
for a
waiting.
quickie.
Yeah, something we've been waiting 3 seasons for. And then, cut to the Inhumans, Hive, and all the others there. And they're like, wow, he wants to recreate the Kree experiment that made him. Because he was one of the first experimental, the first humans to be experimented on.
Well, yeah, and he mentioned that where humans are now is where the Kree were when they started advancing. So it's like, oh, okay, nice to know.
Yeah, where humanity is at the point that the Kree were at when they created me. And the doctor's like, look at it, I'm like, seriously? He goes, yeah, like, you're awfully close. Like, just a wee bit more. You're right there.
Yeah.
On the precipice. Oh, so you bought us a house? No, I bought us a town.
I was like, so that's what he did with all of Malik's money. I bet he spent all of it.
Well, he's spending all of it, but I don't think he spends all of it in one town.
There are abandoned towns in the Midwest and in, like, the western states that you could buy for fairly cheap. Town,
Loosely.
relative here. A few $1,000,000 isn't fairly cheap, but for a whole fucking town,
Yeah.
that's, yeah. But, yeah, he's putting Malik's money to great use. And speaking of Malik, he gave Coulson everything. Mm-hmm. And that's what the calls from Talbot were about. He laid, a massive coordinated strike on every Hydra location around the world. Now, was that every Hydra location? Or just every Hydra location associated with Malik?
Probably every Hydra
associated with Malik. Because we already know that's not the same faction of Hydra that...
Right, but we also know
S.H.I.E.L.D.
We also know that they knew about each other.
This is true.
So it's possible Malik had intel on all of them too.
They probably didn't have all of it because they didn't conversate.
And
they didn't run in the same circles.
I mean, those 2 branches of Hydra can't be the only ones.
No,
just
but
because we're done with this.
Well, it kind of implied to that, especially when Talbot goes, the head of Hydra has been cut. We all know what happens.
Yeah, and the way he said that, it's like, yeah, you cut off a head to take its place.
Yeah, but I mean, that's same thing Captain America was saying in Age of Ultron. He's like, there are no more heads of Hydra. It's like, you're wrong. I'm sorry, Cap, I love you, but you're wrong.
Like, go find Phil Coulson if you even know he's not dead anymore.
Definitely, none of them know that he's not dead.
No,
I don't know why he hasn't just been like, hey guys, by the way, love ya.
It's got to be one of the post-credit scenes, I swear to God, of Civil War.
Right,
he just walks in.
Sorry,
I know.
We need to talk about Phil having a shield.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
He has an holographic Captain America shield. I'm like, you big
I thought it was too.
Nerd. I was like, you giant nerd.
It's like,
I was like, that is a nice addition to that hand.
I thought it would be awesome if the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. had an actual shield, and Fitz agreed with me.
He's a giant fucking nerd.
I could just see that meeting, going like, Fitz, I was thinking, I want some defensive options for this hand, and I was thinking because I'm the director of an agency called S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe I should have some kind of shield. And Fitz is probably like, sir, that's an absolutely brilliant idea. I'll get on that.
Here's the thing. He said that to May as a cover-up because he went to Fitz and was like, I want Captain America's shield.
Yeah, he definitely did. Still has those trading cards.
But
they're all covered with fake blood now, but
Right? Oh my gosh.
That hand there's more going with that hand, because last week, the week before, I forget what it was, when he like clenched his fist and went to like punch something, you saw like actual like energy glowing out of it. Like,
well, it was the circuits.
I mean, we saw the
this
circuit
is
appear in the
no,
back, but I
we
mean,
don't know what's all in that hand.
there was like bright light glowing out from the space between all of his fingers and stuff
Yeah.
before it showed the circuits on the back.
Yeah, we don't know what all is put in that new hand.
There's got to be like
Seems
some
like
kind.
every new hand he gets, there's some more upgrades.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put a miniaturized version of the destroyer weapon in his hand.
Right.
I mean, he did have that at the end of season 1. Hey guys, I found it.
Well, also, I want to know a little bit more about this doctor. I mean, granted, we already know that Gemma put a freaking needle in this guy's eye that just.
Oh yeah.
The way she did it, I was like, ah!
I know.
And she just left it there.
And that's when I thought something was. When she left it there is when I thought something was up. But like, it's like talks to him about the eye. Like, you have, is that a bird eye? What the hell's going on here?
I was jealous.
I was jealous. I mean, he's got a good point.
Yeah, right. But no, it freaked me out. Like, ah!
Ooh. Thank God John wasn't watching this episode.
Oh yeah.
He would have like fell off the couch.
He would have been like, "Why the eyes? Why?"
Why the eyes?
It would have been something like, "Ah, God, oh, why?" A bunch of random noises.
But I do love that Fitz took initiative and just knocked the hell out of that bodyguard and like, is like, you have to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I also like how Gemma just pulled the gun on Hive and shot him a bunch and ran away,
Yeah,
I always said I would shoot Ward.
I always told you to shoot Ward.
Well, she did. She got her wish. She shot him multiple times.
She's like, I doubt it did anything.
No, but still.
So, great episode of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Fucking great.
Which
it was amazing.
Happens more and more, and I'm so happy about that.
And I have a feeling they're just going to leave us on some kind of really bad, well, not really bad, it's going to be a bad, good ending, and I'm just going to want to be like, punch my TV or something.
Well,
I just have a feeling.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? This coordinated attack on Hydra is probably going to be mentioned in Civil War.
Yeah.
Towards the beginning, when they're coming up with the Accords.
Well, because, okay, here's the thing. Here's what we know about Civil War. We're getting, figures from Hydra in the movie. So clearly, having destroyed the Hydra bases has not destroyed Crossbones or Baron Zemo. So they're still kicking and doing evil shit. So that's probably the head of Hydra, You cut off a head, here comes Crossbones and Baron Zemo.
Right, they're coming to take it. They're coming to fill, the power vacuum.
And they're not alone. Crossbone alone has his, bunch of dudes following him around, so.
So that's going to lead up. That's going to probably be mentioned.
I hate Rumlow so much. I want Bucky to just rip his head off.
But, anyway, let's talk quick about next episode. It's called Failed Experiments. Wee bit. Coulson and his team race to combat Hive's control over the Inhumans as their enemy's deadly plan for the human race is revealed.
Someone in the team is in jeopardy.
If you watch the promo, you watch the preview, it's like, 2 more episodes remain before the explosive season finale.
Yeah, right. That makes you even mention that Coulson died.
Yeah, then towards the end of it...
He died, though.
Towards the end of it, one of them mentions the Kree, and then you see, Kree soldiers dropping from orbit.
I saw that. I'm like, holy shiznit.
Yeah, they probably realized that some Inhuman-y stuff was going on, and they came to investigate.
I mean, hello. I mean, if Coulson is monitoring, seismic, and going on because of her earthquake, there's no reason. It can feel them. Their spidey sense are tingling, right?
I mean, I would love the season finale to just have, this would mean some crazy stuff for the MCU as a whole, and I doubt it would happen, but just like the end of the season, Kree sends back a message and a whole friggin' fleet shows up.
Right?
It would not be the first time that the Earth had an alien army at their door.
True.
No, it wouldn't be the first time. And, I mean, if the Kree did, the Kree did make the Inhumans, there has to I don't see why there wasn't a reason, there's no reason why they could feel or know when they're present.
Well, I would imagine, and honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with inhuman activity on Earth. I think they might have been monitoring that planet that
they might
Hive
know
was trapped on.
Hive's signature.
Yeah,
We're
There is
talking
that.
about.
know that he's gotten away.
And let's just hope that they send more than 1 or 2.
I think they're sending 2.
Oh, yeah,
It looks
that's
And
great.
that's like it. And
Yeah.
that's like it.
Maybe
Talk
we'll
about
get the
The
overconfident.
last time we
there.
got a Kree, it was 1, and he was unsanctioned. So, I mean,
True.
these 2 might be sanctioned, and that'd be really interesting.
I was gonna say maybe they're gonna send back the one that what is her name, Lady Sif took.
That'd be nice.
He'd be like, I'm back
poor
here
Lady
again.
Sif. Stop doing that weird TV show and come back to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Last thing we forgot to mention is that that artifact they retrieved, there was a second part to it. It was buried. And what is it? It's the only thing that can destroy me.
Woo.
What is it? Like, really,
No.
the only thing? Is it like, a prison?
It looks like it
But
contains
it's clearly, it's not the only thing. Because it's not the only thing he's afraid of.
Right. Well,
I
yeah.
think he's afraid. I think the reason why he takes over the humans, he's afraid of the humans. I think they're the only ones that can stop him.
Probably, and maybe that would nullify his control over the Inhumans, or maybe it's a containment field. Maybe it would just outright vaporize him. I don't know. I'm thinking he was scared of that, blowing up
It's
that
pesticide.
Yeah, blowing up the swarm control place, probably because that would have prevented him from spreading. Probably wouldn't have killed him, but he wouldn't have been able to exert influence over Inhumans.
Yeah.
Which they're probably going to need, and I don't know.
Need some crop dusting.
All I know is I'm happy the character Ward is dead, but I'm also happy that they kept Brett Dalton because he is just exuding creep factor.
Oh my god, he's such a good actor. I
Really
love it and I
is.
hate it. It's amazing.
I know.
Well, I kind of got in a little argument with someone. Someone's like, I wish Ward was, they would kill him off. Like, technically, he is dead.
They did. He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
They're like,
That actor's fantastic.
I'm glad they found a way to keep him.
yes.
Yeah, me too.
But
Whether or not he gets
Because
tested
Ward
out
was
for
running his
season.
course. Like, there's only so many times he could get shot and come back,
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens if he does come back next season. If not, we haven't heard anything. I know he's doing the ComCon rounds. So
He's really big into that too.
yeah, he seems to enjoy himself.
Last year at New York Comic Con, he wasn't there, but he did a little video sketch with Joe Quesada, and it was fucking fantastic.
I think the last 2 years he's been at Rose City Comic Con. I don't know if he's there this year. I haven't checked it out. But...
So also next week, and yeah, I forgot how they put it. Keep an eye out for a special sneak peek of Civil War.
And I'm so excited for the movie, and I feel like a tiny hyper dog that's about to pee itself.
T-minus 9 days.
I know.
Chihuahua,
It's just I don't know if my heart can handle any more footage from the movie unless I'm seeing the movie. You know what I mean?
I'm
just
kind of
explode and
interested.
die.
Here's a question.
Interested to see the Shield after the movie.
Me too.
Are you going to a midnight release?
If I can get a ticket, I will.
Okay.
But I've waited so long because I have all this anxiety. So I put it off for as long as possible. But if not, I'm probably going to see it in the morning.
That'll do it.
The first showing that morning.
She'll be there by
what?
herself.
I'm working? I'm sorry. I'm sick.
She'll be alone in the theater.
I
First
will.
showing.
I will.
I
did that for all 3 Hobbits, actually.
I mean, that's what Nikki and I did for Star Wars. We saw it because it came out Thursday or whatever. We saw it that Saturday, first showing in the theater. I mean, it wasn't empty. Come on, it was friggin' Star Wars on opening weekend. But only half full, which was
Because people don't
amazing.
want to wake up early.
Yeah, it was an 11 o'clock showing. I mean, that's not that early. But
It is when you drink the night before and you have a hunger.
all right, that'll do it. That'll do it. Anyway, I think that's our show. Is that our show? Anything else?
That's our show.
Yes.
All right. I'm ending this before Clio goes on another Civil War rant.
I will. End it fast.
So, Chrissy, where can they find you?
They can find me on Pinterest pinning all the things about Bucky Barnes at Clio Moto, and on Twitter and Twitch too, but
So
there's
much Bucky.
so much Bucky.
Rachel, how about you?
You can find me at Twitter at Savannah17.
Where her page is not flooded with Bucky.
No, it's not. It's not. It's flooded with cat pictures and.
You could find me on
Most
Twitter at Philidrin, where there hasn't been much lately, but I'll fix that. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. If you're watching us live, stay tuned for the Once Upon a Time podcast starting within the next 10 to 20 minutes.
Woohoo!
Other than that, thank you for watching, everyone. And also, thank you to Sally, Aubrey, and everybody else who stayed around and kept chat active.
Yes, thank you guys.
Team Mad Hatter.
Team, everybody stop fighting and get
Yeah,
along.
I see that, Sally. Team Bucky.
I know, that's what I said.
Seriously, it's really come down to team, everybody stop fighting and get along because I love you all.
right?
Team Sebastian Stan. That's my stance.
Team,
Getting a call.
Okay, bye.
team, I want everybody to bake cakes and rainbows